Oh, hi! It's here. We're doing the thing. It's back. Last minute costume video 2019. Hell yeah! If you are new to the channel or just unfamiliar with this series, every year, with the exception of last year, but the entirety of last year is an exception, we're just calling a fucking mulligan on 2018. This has become my favorite tradition to do, is throw a bunch of really bad costume ideas at you that take little to no effort to put together, depending on what you have in your own closet, I suppose, but this is shit I've been rounding up for the past couple weeks, and I'm pretty proud of the list this year. And in true last minute costume tradition, unless I'm filming at 5 o'clock in the morning, which has happened before, here's what you need. Y'all aren't even ready for this beer color. God, I love sours. Just look at it. I thought I still had some pumpkin beer left and that was going to be today's beverage of choice, but this is pretty blood colored, so I think we're still on theme. Okay, first up. This shirt got kind of ruined for me for a while at my dental lab job because every time I wore this and then any other striped shirt, my boss would be like, "What's up, Waldo?" I look back on it endearingly now, but at the time I'd be like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, man, please, no." But yes, whereas Waldo, you can just hide behind shit, and then if there's someone at the Halloween party that you don't want to talk to, but you still want to hang out with other people, you have an excuse to just lurk in the corner and not actually address that person. And another costume that will be effective if you're trying to hide from someone that you don't feel like talking to. No, it's not a fedora or whatever style hat she has, but we're working with what we got. It'd be hipster Carmen Sandiego, but I do have what my best friend has dubbed my grand coat. Here it is in a fuller glory. Just too fucking tall to film in this room. Ooh, there's one very fancy part missing. Hold please. Here we go. I remember her always having the profile shot holding the brim of her hat. Again, it's helpful if your hat has a brim, but also kind of the point of the show is that you never saw much of her. This is also a really good costume, at least around where I live, because it's fucking cold out. I almost never wear this other than doing these videos when I need a hipster version of something. It should just make its way into my costume closet. Okay, up next. Ooh, I do actually have another prop for this. Hold on again. I have everything set out on hangers and I thought I had all the accessories laid out, but as I'm doing these, I'm remembering like, oh wait, I can level this up a little bit. Anyways, Garth from Wayne's World. I also didn't realize till I was putting the wig on that like, oh shit, this is another costume that lets you wear glasses. Because the next costume I wear will be the only one I really came up with that specifically involves glasses. I honestly just can't believe I haven't thought of these before because Wayne's World was one of my favorite movies as a kid. So yeah, I just have the world's cheapest wig. This must have cost maybe $4 years ago. I bought it for an Alice in Wonderland costume I made. And for any other costume, I think I would brush it out a bit, but you're trying to be a metalhead and like messy hair's fine. Glasses, again, didn't occur to me till now. That would have to be a prop for you. Some blue flannel. This is my dog fart cat barf one that I'm forever proud of. It's just a masterpiece. And then a white graphic shirt. This is a Hive shirt. And it can't hurt having some drumsticks. Little side note here, I did actually catch these at some concerts. I'm sure it's fairly easy to find that friend that you hung out with in high school that played drums for like 6 months and you tried to start a band but then realized none of you can sing or write. I get it. I played percussion in band. Next up, as I mentioned, another obvious one that involves glasses that I cannot believe I haven't thought of in any of the years past. I've been wearing glasses for 25 years and it never occurred to me to dress as Velma. I do have a mousy brown wig somewhere, but it looks more like a mullet and like I have brown. It's fine. It's fine. It's more about having an orange sweater. She does have a turtleneck, but like you can only work with what the goodwill gods give you, and this is what I got, which is a pretty good color, I have to say. And then ideally I would have some orange knee-high socks, but we're stuck with these Argyle ones that I'm wearing. Ignore the jeans happening, but yeah, just a red skirt. Did also add pockets to it if you want to check that video out because it's a really easy thrift flip if we're going to use that terminology, you know, keeping up with the youths and all. But it's also something that I wish I had learned how to do at a much younger age. Why the shit do pocketless bottoms exist? I will never understand. So it is my quest to add pockets to all of my garments because it just makes me mad every time I wear something that doesn't have pockets. It is a thought that crosses my mind so many times throughout that day, and there's so little joy in the world that like, why increase the despair by not having convenient access to your shit, you know? Okay, it is too early in the week for an existential crisis. Rather than falling into the pit of despair, I will talk about something that brings me so much joy, which is The Great British Baking Show. Oh my goodness, I only started watching it this year, or maybe it was last year. I can't remember the actual timeline, but whenever Noel Fielding signed on and then it was available on Netflix, because The Mighty Boosh has been one of my favorite shows since I think I was still in high school and was watching unlisted playlists in 10-minute segments of their show that someone I made internet friends with from Scotland was loading onto her YouTube channel, but because it's all copyrighted, she had to keep it all private. That's also how I watched My So-Called Life, but let's stay on task here. If this shirt isn't making sense, there is a Mighty Boosh Live DVD special, and this is my interpretation of the top that Noel Fielding is wearing during it. He does have much skinnier lightning bolts, but this is what I went with, and I put a really thick coat of paint and then immediately put it in the washing machine for some reason because I was like going to, I don't know, Jonas Brothers concert or something probably. So that's an option if you want to get that kind of vintage washed out look, is not let your paint set before you throw it in the laundry. But hey, I wear the shirt all the time and I still like to wear it, even though my sister insists on calling me Thunder Jugs, and I know I will regret telling the internet this, but I appreciate her wit and cleverness, and I want to give credit where credit's due. For this next idea, I had some help from my little shop assistant while I was taping on some of these felt letters I cut out. He was ensuring that they were adhered properly by rolling on top of them and accepting some belly scratches from me. He was more demanding the belly scratches, but you understand. And then the original version has puff paint for the letters, but I do wear this shirt and I don't want to cover it in puff paint because it's the only plain black shirt I own anymore. So I just did some chalk letters, and now you get to be Knives Chow, Sex Bob-omb's #1 fangirl. Which also, if you didn't know, this is a Scott Pilgrim tattoo. Okay, and I think the final idea I came up with for myself is one that is appropriate for how sleepy I just got. I'm only halfway through that beer, but like, I could take a nap right now. This one will likewise involve cutting out some felt shapes and taping them to your top. And you certainly could make ears and get some face paint going for this. I just took white shirt. You can do like off-white cream, perhaps a light sand color, and a gray cardigan over it. And you got the world's easiest Totoro costume. Let's see if the forest sprite magic is gonna work and that the dog will take a nap on my tummy, because I feel like that's what Totoro's tummy is best for. So like, I don't think this is his first choice of places to nap. I'm gonna call this at least a partial win. And just to add a little bonus bit in here, if you have a little pet friend, just make them be a little Kermit. I, for some reason, own a giant mountain of lime green faux fur and was just desperate to use it for something. Edges don't fray, so it's great for doing little designs like this. Now I just have to spend the next 8 years vacuuming little bits of green fluff off the carpet in here, and also spend that time earning the trust of this one back, because he is not happy right now. Okay, I think that's been enough exploiting the dog today, so I'm gonna go. If this for some reason is the first video of mine you're seeing, I do lots of crafting stuff, some as dumb as this, some I'm actually pretty proud of and are a little more involved actual tutorials. Plenty of costumes and adventure and beer drinking and just silly shenanigans, all married with my incessant need to overshare. So if that seems interesting to you, you can go ahead and subscribe. As I mentioned in the beginning, I have a playlist of the rest of the videos. I also have a Patreon if you're interested in checking that out, and I post 2 videos a week, Wednesday afternoons and Saturday mornings. So I will see you back here in a couple of days. Thanks for hanging out! Are you totally over my bullshit? Yeah.